What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. We are round 2 right now. We got Randy's car up on the lift, got the motor in the floor, transmission, we got our adapter, and we run into another problem already. It is what it is. We're working through it. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody's not doing it, but it is it is what it is. We're getting it. We're making it work. I don't think Randy was real happy. He was running a little later than us getting here, and he walks around, and I was grinding on our torque converter setup. Let me show you what happened. So here is the piece that held us up last time. We didn't have this crankshaft adapter. And so what this is very important. This goes into the back of the crankshaft. Small block Ford is smaller here, is 1.375 inches. The snout of the converter is 1.7 inches. So this goes in, pushes in, and now the torque converter comes in here, fine and dandy. Everything seems to be okay. But something that a lot of people don't do, what you have to do is you have to take the torque converter and push it up in here and make sure that the snout of the torque converter does not bottom out and hold the pads off. If it does, then that could potentially knock the thrust bearing out of the motor, because the purpose of a flex plate is to flex. So if it doesn't flex, if it doesn't move forward and backwards, it's not allowed to, then it could mess the thrust bearing up. Now this motor is pretty bad to the bone. It's got a Roller Torrington thrust bearing, so it can handle more load, but if it shocks, if it hits real hard, it's gonna be hard on that bearing. So let me show you what we had to do. So this is a spacer. This is a hub adapter spacer. And so this makes it so this all is adjustable. So they have a whole bunch of different thicknesses. This one was a 1/2 inch thick. And so when this bolts on here, then it was bottoming out. So what I've been doing, so Randy rolls up and I've got the handy dandy side grinder with a pretty aggressive grinding wheel. As you can see, all the brass all over the table. So he rolls around. We got this nice torque converter here. I didn't have a way to, I was going to mic this up in the vise, but I was scared I was going to, you know, crush this. So I decided not to do that. So the easiest thing to do is put it back on the converter here and just gently grind it away. And that's what I've done. So I've knocked about 200 thousandths off of it. So, I mean, it's just as simple as... It's about 500 thousandths before, and now it's 300 thousandths or so. So, I mean, it is what it is. Mark Mickey has got these, I'm sure, in different thicknesses, but we don't have a lathe, so I couldn't turn it down, so we had to do it the old-fashioned way. So now I'm gonna take it over here to this belt sander and just get it nice and smooth and flat, and shouldn't be a big deal. Just took a little extra time. I was hoping we were gonna be able to move pretty fast on this, but not a big deal. So we got it working. You know, every motor is a little bit different, and the spacing, I guess, is the problem. But so we're going to make it work. Randy was not a happy camper though when he walked in. Look at all the brass, it's slung everywhere, but it is what it is. So we're going to finish smoothing this up, making it nice and pretty the best I can, and then we're going to stick it all together. I'll show you how to do the spacing. Okay, so we got this thing on, got the bolt in, red Loctite. It is sticking up a little bit, but that's okay, because this thing has got a hole in the center, so it's not going to bottom out. And you can see how deep that thing goes down on in there. It goes to right there, so it's going to ride about there. So let's show you what I'm talking about setting it up. So this will slide in the back of the crankshaft, and then we'll be able to get the clearances right on this. Okay, so this goes in, pops in, that's in. Hold that for me. And so then this converter pads have got to touch the flex plate. When this thing was too long, it would stop like right there. See how now it goes all the way up to it. So now our converter spacing, when we pull, it's going to go in about 125 to 187. And then when we pull it up, we got good engagement.
I think it pads should come off.
So now we're trying to make sure we got the converter back far enough. We only had 25 thousandths. It's right down there. We only had 25 thousandths of
What do you have in there?
0.088. That's supposed to be like 1 3/16 or 1 1/8 back.
I'm not going back no more.
Okay, so that's as far back as it's going. So this one must be, it's tight back there. So we're gonna have to put a thicker mid plate on it. We're gonna have to stack it with that one. So we're gonna have the, okay, go ahead and go get it. I mean, no choice. I mean, we had 25 thousandths. How thick is the other one?
Small one.
Brian, do you remember how thick it is? Is that it? Yeah. He's got it here, Randy. So this is the old mid.
130.
130. We got, that'll be perfect, what we need.
That's what you need.
That's exactly what we need. So this is 130 thousandths thick. So to get everything lined up where it needs to be, that's what we gotta do. So we're gonna have to put this one on there as well. Okay, so gonna bolt it back together. Now we've got 2 mid plates on it. We got that one 250 was not thick enough, so we had to put his old one on it as well, which was 125. So now that's gonna give us the right clearance. But in order to do that, we had to put longer dowels in the motor. So Brian had to get the dowels out, and then he had some hardened bolts, which is the right size, 1/2 inch. And now we have hardened dowels. So we're gonna put it back together again. Okay, so all this is done and up. So I've got to get a couple bolts for the transmission cross member here. He's got an AJE. That thing's pretty nice. It is fully adjustable. So that thing's pretty cool. So we're gonna stick that on there. Although technically, with the mid plate and the front plate, you might not even need a back transmission support.
It doesn't, but it don't hurt either.
Oh, that's,
Yeah, so it'll work.
It's gonna work.
I'm not changing that though. That's somebody else's job.
I don't know how to do it.
Me either.
You're lying.
I don't want to do it.
All right, so we made some progress. Motor is installed, transmission's in, torque converter is bolted up. So he's got lots of parts and pieces they still got to put together. He's ordering some drive stuff for the fuel pump and the oil pump. We're gonna try to reuse most of his headers. We're just getting a parts list together of all the parts he needs to mount the turbo. So the wiring is super easy to do. Nothing to the wiring. Zach came over, Brian and Randy. We've been over here pretty much all night, but it fought us. I was not very happy early in today, but now I'm happy. So that's a good thing. I'm a little more excited. I think Randy's excited. We had to do a little bit of beating and banging, and he had to go out of the shop a couple times. He's not real down on the, sometimes you gotta make stuff work. Is that the best way to put that? Is that the best way to put that?
Smash it with a hammer till it fits.
He's not down with the hammer clearancing, but sometimes it is. We had to do some clearancing with the hammer and the grinder and the Sawzall today. So, but it worked out. All right, so we're making progress. So he's probably realistically got another 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know that Woodstock is going to happen for us. There's a lot that's got to come together. All right, guys, y'all comment, like, and subscribe. We'll see y'all soon.